Welcome back to the Midnight List. Today's contender is the legendary Skyline GTR R32. The first Skyline was produced by Prince Motors back in 1957, but it wasn't until after Nissan purchased the company and decided to bring it into racing that the first GTR was developed, and that was back in 1969. That model lasted until 1972, with the later 2 years having a coupe option as well as the sedan. The second generation GTR was short-lived, with fewer than 200 units being produced due to the fuel crisis. It would be 16 years before we would see another Nissan Skyline with the GTR badge. The next generation was this R32 Skyline. Part of the development process was purchasing a Porsche 959 and using the technology they had developed to create their all-wheel drive system. The Porsche was developed for World Rally racing, but the class that it was developed for was discontinued before the car was ever put into action. Nissan dismantled the vehicle they had purchased from Porsche to understand their all-wheel drive system. Where the 959 acted more like a front-wheel drive car during loss of traction, the Nissan Skyline acted more like a rear-wheel drive car, making it better suited for racing. The R32 was such a dominant force on the racetrack that in Australia it would earn the name Godzilla, which has stuck with the Nissan GTR to this day. Let's take a look at our hot lap. The GTR has been a part of Gran Turismo since the first game. Part of the Skyline's worldwide following has even been credited to Gran Turismo. This particular car was one of my early purchases in Gran Turismo 7, and it got me through much of the early game races, and it still continues to be a strong vehicle even in the late game races. The all-wheel drive system makes the car very forgiving. Mine has been set up fairly stiff with a tendency for oversteer, because I have faith that the car's drivetrain will pull me out of most of the slides. With the fuel map set to 1, I was able to get right around 4 laps. The car is a little bit on the thirsty side, but you can dial that back and you should still have plenty of power to win the race. After 3 laps, my front tires were the limiting factor, being about a third worn out, and the rears were about right around a quarter. Both tire wear and fuel usage are set to 5 times for this series. The car is very well balanced, so you can kind of set it up the way you want. Like I said, this is set more for oversteer, but you can make the car understeer, you can make the car oversteer, you can make it more neutral. It's so balanced, and with that all-wheel drive system, you can really make it do whatever you need it to do. With a 157.537, this places the R32 in 5th place on our current list. I appreciate you guys joining us for this content. If there's anything you'd like to see, please comment down below. Otherwise, I'd love to have you along for future videos, so please like and subscribe. And until then, keep racing.